So you're thinking of moving to Coppell, Texas, and you want to know what it's like to live there, and you want to know if Coppell might be the right place for you. Well, today we're going to get into the pros and the cons of what it's like living in the city of Coppell, and we're going to get after that right now. What's up, everybody? I'm Kristen Carpentier with the Living in Dallas team, located right here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. And if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about what it's like to eat, sleep, live, work, and play or buy real estate here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and hit that bell for notifications, because we're dropping new content every single week about what it's like living here in the greater Dallas Fort Worth area. And we absolutely love helping people make that relocation here or to move anywhere around the Dallas Fort Worth area. So whether you're moving next week, next month, or even next year, reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and let us know how we can help you make that smooth move here to the Dallas, Texas area. So my family and I actually relocated here to the Dallas area just over 10 years ago, and there are a lot of things that we learned along the way. And we had to make the hard decision of what city we wanted to live in. And of course, we landed in Flower Mound, but it doesn't mean that we haven't learned a lot along the way. And Coppell is not too far away. We've had clients live there, we've had friends live there, kids who played sports against their kids over there, and athletics, everything in between. So that's why we love being able to help other people move here around the Dallas Fort Worth area. So today we want to get into the pros and the cons of what it's like living in Coppell. Well, Coppell is a fairly decent sized city here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. It is about 14 and a half square miles, and it does have a population of over 48,000 people right now. Of course, home prices have gone up recently over the last few years. The median home price within the city of Coppell is just over about $558,000. So we are getting a little bit up there, but that's what we want to talk about today. So the number one pro of living in the city of Coppell is its location. Now, it is perfectly centrally located here in the DFW area, which makes access to everything you need right at your fingertips. If you need to get downtown, it's bordered more on the northwest side with the 121 freeway that heads up over on the north-hand side as well of the city of Coppell. So there is a lot of freeway access that you are able to easily get to by living in the city of Coppell. And if you need to hop on that freeway to catch a flight out of the DFW airport, it is only a few miles away, and that makes it easy as well. It's easy to get down over into Fort Worth or over into South Lake. So many great areas to get to by living in Coppell. So you don't have to feel like you're moving all the way over on the west-hand side and it's going to take you forever to get. The number two reason for our pro for living in the city of Coppell is that it is very family oriented. Niche.com actually ranks the city of Coppell as the number one best suburb to raise a family in. So who can argue with that, right? There's so many great neighborhoods, there's so many great schools, lots of activities for kids, parks, trails, anything you want to do with your family, they're going to have it in the city of Coppell. They also have a lot of community events, things going on so that you can have a reason to get outside and do things with your family, especially if you love taking your little kids over to the park, to the splash pad, to play on the playgrounds, to go play sports, and to just go have a family picnic. And on that line of raising a family, moving there for families, our number three reason for moving to the city of Coppell is the fact that it has phenomenal schools. Coppell ISD actually is given a ranking of A+ for their schools. Their schools have fantastic learning and education, low student to teacher ratio, and the people that live in Coppell believe that your education and everything that you're doing in the schools is going to be top notch. So hence a huge draw for why people are wanting to relocate to the city of Coppell. In fact, we had friends who were teachers, and they relocated over into the Coppell School District just because of the phenomenal programs that they had over there, and they absolutely loved teaching within Coppell ISD. So definitely something to think about if you want highly rated schools to send your kiddos to. Now, the number 4 pro for living in the city of Coppell is jobs. Now, surprisingly, there are actually a lot of businesses who have relocated their companies into the Coppell area, and a lot of big businesses who have set up shop over there. You have Amazon and the Container Store and so many other big businesses with huge warehouses and opportunities to work just right within the boundaries of Coppell. So if you are thinking of relocating just for work and you don't like having that crazy commute, obviously living within Coppell and being able to work there is a huge bonus for a lot of people who are sick and tired of having to commute because they've relocated from one of these big major cities and their commute used to take them over an hour. Especially when we were raising our kids when they were little, and back before we moved here, my husband had a crazy long commute. So moving here to the Dallas area, we knew we didn't want my husband to have to commute quite so much because we had 4 kids and 4 kids in school and various activities. It was just hard to do it all on my own. So knowing that my husband had a shorter commute was definitely why it landed us where we did. So definitely something to think about if you're relocating here for work and you don't like those crazy commutes, and maybe you actually land a job within Coppell. So moving to Coppell and getting to live in Coppell is just a great, huge bonus for people making that move here to the Dallas area. And the number 5 pro on our list for the reasons to move to the city of Coppell is its arts and entertainment. There is not tons going on like some of these other major cities, or especially obviously down in the Dallas area. But Coppell has really tried to focus on revitalizing some of that art and culture. They remodeled and rebuilt part of an old fire station into the Coppell Art Center. So they have concerts and theater programs out there, and they do different types of things that get the community involved, that make people want to come and visit Coppell. And right there in that little downtown Coppell area, they have a great farmers market on Saturdays, and they also have tried to bring in more restaurants and boutiques, and it's just a great area to be able to go and hang out. They have some great restaurants over there. Like we said, there's not tons going on in Coppell, but there's just enough if you want to live in that community and partake in some of the events and things that are going on over there. Getting around the Dallas area, like we said, there's multiple big options, but being able to live and participate in local events and local community things, it's just nice knowing that they have really started to build that up and have those events for the local community. Now let's talk a few cons of living in Coppell. And the number 1 con that people have talked about is that it's a higher cost of living. Obviously, with the national average being what it is and the national price point of homes being at around $200,000, here in Dallas, they have raised significantly upwards of almost $300,000. But here in the city of Coppell, the median home price is $558,000, quite a bit higher than most areas. If you can afford that price point, obviously you can get homes in the upper $300,000 range still, and upwards in the $1 million range as well. There are a lot of great communities in Coppell, but the price point is higher. So a con for some people wanting a little bit more affordability and wanting to live a little bit further out so that they can maybe get a little bit newer home and a little bit more price per square footage than you can right within the city of Coppell. The number 2 con for location and living in the city of Coppell is the fact that there really is not a whole lot of new construction going on. The new construction is very, very limited, and for the most part, it's limited to the one-offs, custom lots, people kind of squeezing in a home in and around the area. But the master plan communities have really been around for quite a while, and getting those suburbs being built and established here in Coppell, you're really not going to find much of that anymore. You're looking at more like having a custom home built if you're moving and wanting something new in Coppell. But also there have been a lot of homes built back in the 80s, and because of the price point of homes and the location, a lot of people have really started to upgrade those houses and remodel them. So there are a lot of nice homes in some great neighborhoods that have done some remodeling. So something not to discount if you know that you love the location, you want great schools, that look for those houses that have had those updates made. but something that we have seen throughout the last few years. If any of those homes have had a lot of these updates done on them, they're selling quickly. But something to look forward to, that you can have great location, great neighborhoods, and maybe an updated house in a great school district as well. And the number 3 con for living in the city of Coppell, we talked about how there's a little bit of arts, culture, some cute little restaurants that we have, but for the most part, there's a little amount going on in Coppell. If you love to go out and try new restaurants that has music playing, you're not going to really find a whole lot of that in Coppell. If you are going to want a different restaurant every weekend, you're definitely going to be venturing outside of the city limits to one of the other surrounding cities. But that's okay, because there are so many cities right around the Coppell area. You can head over to Grapevine in Southlake, Plano, Frisco, just to name a few, just because of its location. So right within the city of Coppell, you're going to have a couple restaurants. You are going to have a few good restaurants like Heart 8 Barbecue, but granted, on a weekend, the line's going to be crazy long. You're going to have an Anamia's Mexican restaurant and plenty of fast food restaurants, especially right along the freeways. But for the most part, the fine dining, the great restaurants, you're going to be leaving outside the city. So any other questions about what it's like living in Coppell? If maybe you like some of those pros and you don't like some of the cons, reach out to us and let us know which one's your favorite. Let us know which city you're thinking of moving to, and if you have any other questions about what it's like living here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and let us help you make that smooth move here to the Dallas, Texas area.